Very happy afternoon to all of you. I'm Dr. Bina, the director of Happy Valley Business School, Coimbatore, and I would be the moderator for today's session. Let me welcome all the participants to the program of AIMS, and we have Dr. Aarthi with us today. Welcome, ma'am. For those of you who are not very or I would say for those of you who are not able to know what is AIMS, let me just tell you a brief about what is AIMS. AIMS is the Association of Indian Management Schools. It's a very highly impactful networking body with more than 500 B schools as its members. We all know that any successful association is like a mother. It protects its family members by nurturing it with all that is possible. And AIMS is definitely one such. It tries to create a lot of platforms for faculty members, for students, for researchers, and for all of those who wish to, who wish to understand what is management. They would like to disseminate knowledge, and they do this by conducting roundtables. They do this by conducting conventions, faculty development programs, workshops, publications, and so much more. It says they can't hear me.
We can hear you, ma'am. We can.
Okay. So the new feather in its cap is knowledge sharing through a session called Inspiring Young Leaders. And this is open basically to all the faculty members and the students. And of course, we have members of AIMS too. I would like to welcome all the participants once again for this knowledge sharing session. And we have Dr. Aarthi with us today. Well, I think we have just stopped short of using this term called as goals. After the football, after the World Cup football, everybody had only one word in their mouth, and that was goal. And now when that has ended, we know that it is the end of the year, and we all have one thing in common. The one thing in common is what are the goals that we can have, or you also call it as resolutions. So what are the goals that we can fix for ourselves for the next year? But most of the times resolutions are meant to be broken. But here we have Dr. Aarthi with us, who will tell us very clearly how is it that we should be fixing our goals so that we don't tend to break them. So we make them to power ourselves and to move forward. Dr. Aarthi is the founder of Mentora, an organization concentrating on providing skills for an enriched life. It's nice to hear this. All of us need lives to be enriched. A production engineer from PSG College of Technology. Aarthi went on to do her MBA from PSG Institute of Management and then her PhD in management again. She is qualified in her UGC NET and also with JRF, which doesn't come for all. So maybe that is the reason why at such a young age she completed her PhD too. She was selected as a junior ambassador representing India and attended the Asia Pacific Children's Convention in Japan. She is a recipient of Sri Subramaniam Awards and aims to make a difference to the next generation. And that is why we have her here today. Dr. Aarthi is an active member of the Lions Club and is a graduate of the prestigious Lions Certified Instructor Program. Again, not that everybody can complete the program. And here we have Dr. Aarthi. She has more than 1.5 decades of experience teaching and I think, management subjects, as well as doing a soft skills training to the next generation. Dr. Aarthi, the next 30-35 minutes is all yours. And may I request all the participants to just type in the chat box as to the questions that you wish Dr. Aarthi to answer for you. Thank you so much. It's over to you, Dr. Aarthi.
Thank you, Dr. Tina, ma'am, for that wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin my session on goal setting, I want to know how good are you in using your chat box? Hope you're all ready. Now go to chat box and type how you're feeling right now. Just one word answers, okay? Just you're feeling right now, what kind of feeling you have. Go to chat box and type it. Energetic, beautiful, excited, Feeling excited? Excited. Oh, excited to listen. Okay, all excitements. Fine. Reading all your comments on the chat box, even I feel equally happy and excited to hear from you, to interact with you all today. So let me share my screen first. Because seeing your messages being energetic, excited, I also feel happy and excited because happiness is always contagious, right? Hope you all can see my screen. If you can see my screen, all of you can react thumbs up so that I'll quickly move on to what I wanted to share with you today. Quick thumbs up reactions from you all. Wonderful. If you can all turn your videos, I'll be able to see your faces, smiling faces. Only that is the requirement for today's session. Wonderful. Superb. Thank you so much, sir. So the most important question or a common question we might have in our minds is, what is that leaders think about most of the times? And the answer is very simple. Leaders think about the future and where they are going and what they can do to get there. In almost more than 3,000 odd studies of leaders conducted over the years, there is a special quality that stands out. One quality that all great leaders have in common, it is the quality of vision. Leaders have vision. Non-leaders, on the other hand, think about the present and the pleasures and the problems of the moment. They think and worry about the past. So we call this as the leadership quality, which is called as the future orientation. The good news is that when you begin to think about your future as well, you begin to think like a leader. And as you will soon get the same results that leaders get. Goal setting is a powerful process for thinking about your ideal future. It helps to motivate yourself and turn your vision for the future into reality. So now you will have a question, like, what is goal? What does goal give me? Living without clear goals is like driving in a thick fog. No matter how powerful or well engineered your car, you drive slowly, hesitantly, making little progress on even the smoothest road. Deciding upon your goals clears the fog immediately and allows you to focus and channel your energies and abilities. Clear goals enable you to step on the accelerator of your own life and leap ahead rapidly. Without goals, my dear friends, you simply drift and flow on the currents of life. With goals, you fly like an arrow straight to your target. So simple, goals give you direction. No goals means no direction. We all know the importance of goals, right? We all know how important is that to set goals in our life, what benefits we will reap because of goal setting. But still, many people don't set goals. Go to chat box and type in quickly for me, why do people don't set goals? Why don't people set goals? We all know it is important. We all know that it is very good to have goals in life. In spite of knowing all this, why don't people set goals? Quick answers in chat box. Or if you can, please put up your hands. You can even unmute yourself and talk. Any answers in chat, ma'am? Why don't people set goals?
Yeah, I think one Mr. Kumar has said lack of idea of how to do. And
Fantastic.
we haven't figured it out as to what to do in our life.
Beautiful. Wow, great responses from your side. I'm very happy. Responsive audience today. Yes.
Lack of belief.
Yes, very good. So why don't people set goals? Most people don't realize the importance of goals. If you actually grow up in a home where no one has goals, or you socialize with a group where goals are neither discussed nor valued, you will not have the ability to set and achieve goals. So now just look around the people around you. How many of your friends or family members are clear and committed to their goals? So they all think goals are not important. The second reason why people don't set goals is, as somebody said in the chat, they don't know how to set goals. Even worse, many people think that they already have goals, when in reality, what they actually have are a series of wishes or dreams. Like they ask them, what is your goal? They might say, be happy or make a lot of money. But these are not goals, my dear friends. They are merely fantasies that are common to everyone. So the next reason why people don't set goals is because of the fear of failure. People think, what if I fail in my attempt to reach my goals? They don't want to face failure, so they don't set goals at all. The next reason might be the fear of criticism. People are afraid that if they set a goal and these goals are not successful, others will criticize them. I will tell you, if you don't set goals for yourself, you may be doomed to work to achieve the goals of someone else. So it is better that you set goals for yourself rather than working towards somebody's goals. It is always better to frame your own goals and work towards it. That will definitely give you path to success. And I really wanted to share about what I read in this book, an interesting book. If you haven't read so far, you can have a glance over it. Okay, it's a wonderful book named Ikigai, wherein they talk about a small village. Okay, it's an island at the southern end of Japan, a village named Okinawa. What is so special about this village is once it was called the land of immortals, which means that it has world's longest living humans. If you can see on an average, men can live until 84. It's just an average, okay? Women, they can live until 90. And you can have high number of people who are in their hundreds or more. And these regions are actually called blue zones in the world. There are a lot of blue zones like this. And especially researchers wanted to know why in this particular village, people live long, not only long, they also live a happy life. So the oldest Okinawans are healthy and they have emotional, physical, and intellectual capacity to live and function independently. So having heard all these, you should know what is the secret behind, right? A team of researchers went there to the village and found out the secret of Okinawans' long and happy life. The secret is the Ikigai. Ikigai means purpose of your life or a reason for being, why you want to have a life, the reason for your living, your life's very own purpose. Okay, if you know your life's purpose, you will eventually set your path straight that will lead to you to your destination. In addition to that, studies also show that people who were aware of their life's purpose get to live longer. Now the question is, how to find out your Ikigai? Yes, so I will tell you how to find out your Ikigai. Very simple. It is the intersection of all the four things which are quoted there. What you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you are good at. So if you are able to find out the intersection for all these four questions, then that is your life purpose, my dear friends. That is your Ikigai. We need to find out that. Goals give you a sense of meaning and purpose. Goals give you a sense of direction. As you move towards your goals, you feel happier, more confident and competent in yourself and your abilities. You will feel internally motivated to get up and get going every morning. This Ikigai will tell you why I wanted to wake up every day. What will I do every day? The answers you will get when you form an intersection between all these. Most of the people quit jobs because they don't do what they love. If you're able to find what you love, what you're really good at, and if you think you can be paid for that, and if it's really needed for the society, then that is your Ikigai. That is the purpose. Suppose you imagine I love cooking and I'm very good at cooking, but I don't get paid for it. So what is there? It's just a passion for me. If I make it as a profession for me, if I get paid and I do something back to the society, then that becomes a whole purpose. If you ask most self-made millionaires, they will say, I never worked a day in my life. What does this mean? Which means that they really enjoyed what they did. Therefore, all you need to do is find out what you really love to do and then find a way to make a good living doing it. Okay, that is your ikigai. That is very important in setting your goals as well. Next, if you all can take a paper and a pen quickly, we will have a quick activity right now, and then I will tell you what you're supposed to do. Okay, I'll give you 10 seconds. If you're done picking up a paper and a pen, if you have a paper and a pen nearby, type in S in chat box or leave a thumbs up so that I'll get to know. Type in S in chat box quickly, everybody who are ready with, yes, I'm getting chat messages. Fine. Ready with a paper and a pen? We are quickly going to do a small activity. Fantastic. I've got 10 responses from you. 10 people are ready with your notepad and pen. Fantastic. That's the way to go. You all are getting ready to set your goals. All others, quickly grab a paper. You're going to do a little interesting activity. I will give you 10 more seconds. Quickly run, get a paper and a pen, and then we'll start doing it. Yes, fantastic. Hope few people are ready with the paper and your pen. Now, a small activity. What is that you're going to do in this activity is very simple. Now, I'll be giving you 10 seconds, just 10 seconds time. Don't start doing anything because I'll give you time to do it. So what you're supposed to do is you're going to do an estimation now. What estimation you're going to do right now is in 10 seconds, how many zeros will you be able to write on that paper which you have in front of you right now? Fine, this is the instruction. Don't start writing it because I will start the timer and then you can start writing it. So very simple, 10 seconds. How many zeros you will be able to write? You're going to write an estimate, just the number. Suppose I'm able to put 5 zeros, 10 zeros, just write the numbers of how many zeros you will be able to write in 10 seconds. Just do the estimate. Fine, you need not start doing the activity. We are now going to do the estimate. You're all done doing the estimates? Yes. Type yes in chat box if you're done doing estimate. Just the estimate in 10 seconds, how many zeros you're going to do. That's it. Okay, if you're ready with the numbers, please write it in the paper. Write everything on the paper, your estimate. It can be any number. Whatever you feel, you'll be able to do it within 10 seconds. The time is 10 seconds. Wonderful. We have few people who responded to me. Beautiful. So very simple. Now we'll start the activity. I'll get my timer on. Okay, now be ready. You're going to start doing it. Now we're going to do, and your time starts now. Start writing the zeros. Start writing zeros on your notepad. Start. Your timer is started. Stop. Stop writing zeros and now start counting. Start counting how many zeros you have actually made. Leave out the estimate. Now the actual response. I am getting messages in chat. Ma'am, can you please read out what chat messages are there?
Yeah, it says, I think so far the highest is 52, then 32, 28, 37, 32,
Fantastic.
34. So these are all the numbers that keeps coming up. It's all in the 30s. Super. Yeah.
My dear friends, you've done doing your first attempt. I'll be giving you another attempt. Okay. So please understand, you already made an estimate and now you've made a first attempt towards that. Fine. Now I'm giving you a second chance and I'm going to give you a few instructions of how you're going to carry out this activity this time. Okay. Make sure you sit in a comfortable place. Have your notepad or paper little tilted and keep your hands ready. And your zeros need not be very big. It can be as small as possible. Okay. And it should be a zero. Don't keep dots and say it as zero. It should be proper zero, but need not be very big. Okay. Instead of writing it vertically, if somebody has written vertically, do it horizontally. Okay. As much as you can write. Okay. Giving all these instructions, we are going to make attempt 2, the last attempt for today. Okay. So when I say start, you will start. And when I say stop, you're going to stop it. Fine. And your time starts now. Start. Okay, stop. So 10 seconds is over. Now, please count the number of zeros you're able to put in the second attempt And then please type the numbers in the chat. Type your numbers in the chat. What is your second attempt numbers? Fantastic. I'm getting a lot of responses. You are very active today in the afternoon. Happy to see that. Now you're going to make a comparison between your estimate and you have made 2 attempts, right? So whichever is greater, okay, keep that number with you. Out of the 2 attempts you made, take one number, whichever is greater, maybe attempt number 1 or attempt number 2, whichever you feel is greater. Now you're going to compare it with the estimate. Okay. So for all those who were able to put more number of zeros, more than your estimate, you can put H in the chat box. For all those who are able to, H in the chat box. If you're able to get more than your estimate, type H in the chat box. Ma'am, are they giving responses?
There is a hash by many.
Okay.
43.
Now you're going to make a comparison, my dear friends. Hope you understood. If your estimate is 10, now that you're able to put 30 zeros or 20 zeros in your attempt, which means that you're going to type H in the, it can be your estimate is 10 and you have done 11. And you'll be typing H in the chat box. I want number of people who are able to achieve more than what they estimated. Or if it is other way around, if you estimated more and your zeros are very less, you will type L in the chat box. I wanted to know which number is more, L or H. You understood, right? So if you're able to put more zeros than your estimate, it's H. If it is lesser, then it is L. Remember, what responses are we getting in the chat?
Yeah. So the first response after what you said is L.
L.
So most of the L's are coming up and then there is a hash. Yeah. So there are more of L's only, Dr. Aarthi.
Yes, which means that you are able to put very less zeros than your estimate.
Well done. Now again, we have a few hashes also.
Okay, fine. So it is mixed. The responses, few are able to estimate more, few are able to estimate less. Nothing is good, right or wrong here. You all know this in management, right? It's very simple. So for all those who have H in the chat box, please understand, okay, what you learned from this activity is very simple. Okay, for all those who typed H in the chat box, this is for you. For all those who are having L, which means that you already estimated high about yourself. For all those who had H, I'm going to tell a few things now. Number 1 is you underestimated yourself. Fine. The biggest obstacle to setting goals is the self-limiting beliefs people have. People believe that they don't believe in themselves. You may believe yourself to be inadequate or inferior in intelligence, ability, talent, or creativity. As a result, what you do is you sell yourself short. By underestimating yourself, you set either no goals or low goals that are far below what you are truly capable of accomplishing. Okay, that is what it means when you estimated less and you're able to perform much more better than your estimate. Number 2, it can be your full potential is not identified. The potential of the average person is like a huge ocean unsailed, a new continent unexplored. According to a study conducted by Stanford University, the average person functions with only 2% of his or own mental potential. Look at the percentage. Only 2% of the mental potential is being used. The remainder just sits there in reserve, being saved up for some time later. This would be exactly, I'll tell you, what if your parents had left you a trust fund with 1 lakh rupees in it, but all you took to spend was only 2,000 rupees. The other 98,000 rupees simply sat in the account unused throughout your life. Okay, that is how we are using our mental potential. Only 2% is being used. So whatever you have accomplished up until now is only a fraction of what is truly possible for you. Therefore, my dear friends, you need to unlock your full potential. The other reason can be you are much capable than what you think. That is what we understood. We restrict ourselves, right? I am able to do only up till this. You are capable of more than this, more than what you actually think. Okay, so we generally call one of the rules for success is this: it does not matter where you are coming from, all that matters is where you are going. Okay, and where you're going is solely determined by yourself and your thoughts. In a study of peak performers, Charles made an interesting discovery. He analyzed men and women who achieved only average results at work for many years, but they suddenly exploded into a great success. They were average for so many years, and suddenly it was a leap. Okay, they had a very great success. He found out that that takeoff point every one of them had is because of this word called blue sky thinking. It's nothing new. You would have studied something called blue ocean strategy, where you have a lot of opportunities similar to this. Okay, similar to the blue ocean strategy, we call something as blue sky thinking. Okay, in blue sky thinking, you imagine that all things are possible for you. You just keep looking at the clear blue sky with no limits, because sky has no limits, right? So there are no limits to what you can accomplish except for the limits you place on your own imagination. And since there are no limits to what you can imagine, there are no limits to what you can achieve also. So very simple, what I wanted to tell here is don't settle for small goals. Don't settle for small goals. Instead, dream big. Don't sell yourself short. Have big dreams in life. Set big goals. Fine. So having said this, I'm going to talk about another interesting study which was conducted at Harvard University. This research was conducted for almost 10 years, from 1979 to 1989. In 1979, the graduates of MBA program at Harvard were asked, have you set clear written goals for your future and made plans to reach those goals also? What was the reply from 84% of the students? They said they had no specific goals at all. Apart from getting out of the management school and enjoying the summer, they did not have any goals. The remaining 13% said they have goals, but they're verbal goals. They don't have it in writing. Only 3% said they had written goals and plans for it. Okay, now the interesting part is 10 years later, in 1989, they interviewed the members of the class again, and they found something interesting. The 13% who said they have goals, but verbal goals, if you ask them, they will tell what their goals are. They don't have it in written format. These 13% were twice as much successful as the 84%. Their earnings were twice. 2 times, right? But surprisingly, the 3% of graduates who had clear written goals were earning on average 10 times. Look at the numbers, 10 times as much as the other 97% of the graduates altogether. Huge number, right? 10 times more. So friends, that is the power of written goals. Now that we are going to do is to write your goals. You're going to join that 3%, because one biggest difference between a dream and a goal is if you put your dream in your written format, then it becomes a goal. Very simple. So let's join. Why should we wait? So it's time for us to ask the great question in life. One of the most important questions in goal setting. What do I really want to do with my life? Very simple question. Try to answer this. What do I really want to do with my life? When you begin, it will often feel like fantasies detached from reality. However, now your job is to make them concrete, like designing a dream house on paper. So I want you all to take a paper again. If you have, please turn your paper and then write down a list of 5 goals. If not 5 is not possible within a short span of time, write at least 1 goal that you would like to accomplish in the future. 1 goal which you wanted to write. Okay, so as I said, writing your goals means a lot. Fine, so you need to put it down in pen. Okay, you're going to write 1 goal. What is that you wanted to accomplish in future? If you find it difficult of what you want to really write, I will put it in simple terms. Write your dream list or your bucket list. What is that you wanted to fulfill in your life? What is your bucket list? What is your dream list? A list of everything you would like to have, like to be, or do in life sometime in future with no limitations at all. Dream wild and then write your one single goal. As we have very less time, now even in the short time, you're not able to write your goal completely. Take up all the ideas, whatever you gain from the session, later on, sit down and then do write your goals without fail. Because write things down. There is something that happens between the brain and the hand when you write. You get a greater sense of clarity and understanding. You think better, your perception is sharper, you actually become smarter and more creative by the very act of writing everything down. So don't just keep thinking. Please write your goals down, not now, maybe sometime later part of the day, but please do write. Okay, that is what I wanted to say. When you write your goals, if somebody has written your goals, I'm happy. Please check whether you follow these 3 P's. Okay, your goals must be written in positive present tense and it should be personal. Fine, write them in present tense because your subconscious mind is only activated by affirmative statements phrased in the present tense. You therefore write down your goals as though you have already accomplished them. Okay, instead of saying, I will earn rupees 12 lakhs in the next 12 months, you say, I earn 10 lakhs per year. You understand the difference? You're going to write as though you accomplished it in present tense, okay, not in future tense. The next one is your goals must be stated positively as well. Instead of saying, I will lose a certain kilogram of weight, you should say, I weigh 60 kilos or weigh 80 kilos, 70 kilos. You understood? You should frame it positively. Your command must be positive because your mind, again, cannot process a negative command. It is only receptive to a positive present tense statement. Finally, the third P, it should be personal. From now on and for the rest of your life, write out every goal beginning with the word I. Okay, very important, I. And then it can be followed by a verb. For example, should not say, my goal is to earn 10 lakh rupees per year. No. Instead, you would say, I earn 10 lakhs per year. My goal, not my. It should be I. Begin each of your goals with phrases such as I earn, I weigh, I achieve, I win, I drive such and such a car, I live in such and such a home, and so on. So whenever you frame your goal statements, make sure it is positive. It is in present tense, not in future tense. Okay, and then it should be having the word I. Fine. So with this, and I think you all are management people. So I'm going to rush through this fast because your goal should be smart. Okay. So it should be very specific. Many people, when I ask their goals, they say, my goal is to become successful. What is success? Success is different to different people, right? So how do you define the success? I want to be happy in life. What is happiness to you? You really have to be specific here. My goal is to become a successful entrepreneur, businessman. Even then, in business, you have to be really specific. Be very specific. Second one is M, which means measurable, which means that any metric requirement in the goal should be clearly defined and have specific numbers attached to it. There should be numbers. It should be quantifiable. Fine? Because it's been said, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So have certain numbers attached to your goals. Very important. A stands for achievable. The goal should be within your ability to be accomplished. Set a goal that has 80 or 90% probability of success. Make it easy on yourself, at least at the beginning. Later on, you can set huge goals. As I said, you can dream big and set huge goals with very small probabilities of success. But in the beginning, set goals that are believable, achievable, and which have a high probability of success so that you can be assured of winning right from the start. And the next letter, R, stands for relevant. The goal should personally matter to you and is worth your time and effort. T is for time bound, which means that there should be a specific start and a stop date associated with your goal. A goal without a deadline is merely a discussion. It has no energy behind it. Sometimes people ask, what if I set a deadline and I don't achieve the goal by the deadline? We all have this doubt, right? Simple. The answer is set another deadline, and then another if necessary. Okay. But then your goal should definitely have these smart goals. It should be very smart. It should have a time, it should be time bound. So after you completed your written part of goals. Maybe, as I said, just to start with, you can have 5 goals. And after you complete writing 5 goals, now you can go back and take one important goal from that. Okay, what is that one goal in the list which you wanted to achieve in life, or which you think will give a greater impact on your life? Okay, select that one goal. So after choosing it, generally people say, when our trainers talk about goal setting, they say you have to write this goal on a small index card and then keep it in your pocket or carry it wherever you go and you can see it regularly. But I feel that it's an outdated concept. I would rather put it in a different terms for you young people. I would rather insist you to keep your goal on your screensaver, as a screensaver, your desktop picture, or as your lock screen on your mobile. Yes, whatever goal it is, whatever you've written for your life, that one goal, which is very important, please have it as a lock screen on your mobile. Believe me, friends, this works wonders. Okay. Recently, I got phone call from one of my participants who attended my session on goal setting. He said he has set his goal for 1 year and he made it to appear as a lock screen in his mobile. And he called me and said, "Thank you, ma'am, so much for making me do this. Since I'm able to see my phone regularly, I was able to achieve this goal, which I've set for 1 year within 6 months. It's possible." So please keep it maybe in your MacBook or your laptop's desktop. You can keep it so that you keep looking at it regularly. That is very important. Okay. So please have it on your screen, wherever you can look it. Okay. Instead of having it in a paper and keeping it in your pocket, keep it in a lock screen or leave it in the desktop picture. Very important. The next important thing you should know about goals. Are we setting goals in all these areas? Very important. You should have goals for yourself, goals for your physical health, your mental health. Please have goals for your family, goals for your finance, your business or your career. And finally, you should set goals for your society also. We set goals for ourselves. For self, we set goals. But then we neglect all these areas. There are people who are so engrossed in their professional life that they neglect their family and health. If asked, they would reply that they were doing it for their family. We lose our health in the process of earning money, and then we lose money in trying to regain the health. Yes. So your goals should be really balanced. You should have your goals for your mental and physical health as well, not only for your financial goals. Please understand, only if you have a good self, you will be able to manage all of the parts. All these are very important. You should frame goals for all the wheels of life. Should be balanced only then. You've seen a juggler juggling all balls, so you should be able to juggle all goals in your life. It's very important. You should have goals even for the society, for social and community involvement and contribution as well. Many don't do that. We don't set goals for the society. Think about what kind of difference you would like to make in your world. Don't wait until some future date when everything will be ideal. When I ask people, they say, when I earn so much, then I will start contributing to the society. No, that ideal date won't come. Instead, start today in some way. It can be a small amount. Small care to the society, it means a lot, makes a difference, right? So the next important thing which I want to talk about this is, you have seen this picture. And one sitting next is my daughter. So if you go to McDonald's, outside there is a bench where there is a person sitting. And the person is actually set to symbolize the owner. Okay. A press reporter was once interviewing the owner of McDonald's long years back. The press reporter asked, "Sir, when did you become successful for the first time in your life?" That was the question. Owner of McDonald's. He said, "I became successful for the first time in my life 20 years ago, sleeping on the park bench, absolutely penniless, visualizing my chain of hotels." That was the first time he attained success. You understand where success came for him? All things are created twice, first in the mind and then later in the physical world. Fine. So now, this statue, okay, so I'm going to talk about an interesting story which about a hunchback prince. Okay, this prince had a crooked back. He called the sculptor and he said, make a statue of how I would have looked with a straight back. When the statue was finished, the prince put it in a secret place. Month after month, he would slip away to look lovingly and earnestly at the statue. And people began to notice the prince's back was not as crooked as it was used to be. Still, the prince continued to look at the perfect statue. Each time he did, the sight of it set his blood tingling and his heart throbbing, until one day he realized his back was straight. Just like the prince, we all have faults. But you start the process of achieving your goals when you visualize your goals. Okay, that is very important. Aristotle wrote that the very best way to develop a virtue, if you currently lack it, is to imagine and to behave in every respect as though you already had that virtue. Okay, see and think about yourself as you can be, not just as you might be today. Fine, gradually you become that new person. So now I'm giving you a chance, since you all turned your videos off. So I hope you will do this exercise, because this exercise is very important. Process of visualizing. Okay, now all of you close your eyes for a minute. And then I already asked you to write one single goal, which is very important to you in life. Now create clear, vivid pictures of your goal, that one goal, as if those goals were already a reality. See your goal as though it were already achieved, and imagine yourself enjoying it. Now that your goal is being achieved, you're enjoying it. Be very clear in your imagination who's standing next to you, how you're feeling, what pictures you have, what kind of clothes you're wearing. Be very clear. You actually achieved your goal, whatever you set for yourself. Fine. Now you can all open your eyes. A very simple exercise. We all did this process of visualizing, right? In professional athletics, there is a training method called mental rehearsal. Top athletes in every field mentally rehearse their events before they go into the active competition. They see themselves performing at their best prior to every event. They do this. For many days and hours prior to a major competition, they practice visualizing themselves performing successfully over and over again. They will continuously recall their personal bests in previous competitions, and they will replay this personal best like a movie in their mind. They will start recalling this as a movie. Okay? They will create and enjoy the emotions of joy and satisfaction that accompany their peak performance. And when the competition begins, as far as they are concerned, they have already won, because they started imagining or visualizing that they have already won it. Now, look into what Virat Kohli has to say about visualization. Visualization is everything to me. If I'm going to play an overseas tour for 2 or 3 months, I imagine smashing the bowler all over the field. I feel those emotions in my heart and feel that it's going to happen. It's so convincing in your mind that when you are in that situation, your body just takes over because it's already registered in your mind. Okay, that is how people feel about visualization. You take any sports player, they definitely will have a say on this visualization. And I do have something interesting from Bruce Lee. Okay, so this picture is Bruce Lee's picture, very great martial arts person. Okay, so he said he'll be the best superstar in United States. So in return, what he will give to become a superstar, he will give exciting performance. Okay. So what is it which is very important is this letter is written by Bruce Lee to himself, okay, for a self letter. There are a lot of letters which Bruce Lee actually wrote, but this is a very special letter because the letter to self. Starting in 1970, I will achieve world fame. And from now on till 1980, I will have in my possession of 10 million US dollars. Okay, 10 million US dollars. For 10 years, he has set this goal. What is so special is he was able to achieve this dream or goal of 10 million US dollars he had in his possession by the end of 1973 itself, because he died in 1973. But he has set his goal for 10 years, but then he was able to visualize this And he wrote this letter in Jan 1969. Okay, you need to understand how visualization works. Now, we talked about Virat Kohli, we talked about what happened with Bruce Lee. Now, I'm going to share something which happened in my life. Okay, when I was studying in my 11th grade, it was in 2002. I still remember my class teacher, physics teacher, Mr. Trichelvam. He was my class teacher. He entered the class for the first day. And after the prayer, he wrote on the board 4-digit number. Okay, he wrote 1175. And he said, everybody write in your notebooks. We'll start the class with this number. And everyone we wrote 1175 and asked, so what is this number? He said, this should be your target. This should be your goal you wanted to achieve in your 12th grade, because we wrote our public examinations for 1,200. Okay, now I hope you will write it for 600. So we wrote it for 1,200. So we wrote this number. And he left. So the first day practice we had in 11th grade. But I took this very seriously. I wrote these numbers, okay? Every day when I wake up, when I start doing my homework, when I come back home, when I am at school, whatever I do, I write this number and then I started my work. Okay, I did not do this just for one day. This is for those 2 years, okay? For 2 continuous years, I did this. Okay, I was writing 1175 in my notebook. And have a look into my 12th grade marks. It is 1,175. All this happened because of visualization. I thought that is my mark. I will get this mark. And that is how it happened. When you visualize, you actually train your master computer. You program your mind with the performance that you want your body to carry out. Okay. So it's like you become what you think about most of the time. Your outer world ultimately becomes a reflection of your inner world. And it mirrors back to you what you think about. Whatever you think about continuously emerges in your reality. The more you think about your goal and how to achieve it, the more you activate the law of attraction in your life. Okay? You begin to attract to you people, opportunities, resources that will help you to achieve your goals. That is law of attraction. So to put it in simple terms, for example, if you wanted to buy a red sports car, you write this down as a goal. You begin to think and visualize a red sports car. Okay? This process sends the message that a red sports car is now important to you. This picture immediately goes up onto your mental radar screen. From that moment onward, you will start to notice red sports car wherever you go. You will even see them driving and turning corners very far, several blocks away. You will see them parked in driveways and in showrooms. Everywhere you go, your world will seem to be full of red sports cars. Okay? If you decided to take a trip to Hawaii, you would begin to notice posters, advertisements, brochures, television specials with information on Hawaiian vacations. So that is how your mind processes things. So visualization is very important. Look how this man visualizes, okay? He wanted to have a job. He wanted to have a big vehicle. He wanted to have a bag full of money. And he wanted to have some ladies around him when he worked. So this was the imagination the man had. So what the man turned out to be a conductor in a bus. Look, all the points are covered, right? He has a job. He has a big vehicle now, some ladies in the bus, and a bag full of money. So what I wanted to tell here is, friends, you need to be absolutely clear about what exactly you want. That is why I asked you to visualize it very clearly. What kind of dress you wear, who's around you, who's next to you, what kind of feeling you have. Because visualization may turn out like this also. It is a double-edged sword. It is how you handle it. If you visualize you not performing on stage well, you will not perform. Okay, so you have to handle this visualization very carefully, and you have to be very clear in what you really want. Okay, the greater clarity you have regarding your goal, the more of your potential you will unleash for good in your life. So Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Simple. What you think, you become. So think good, okay? Why you want to think in a negative way? Always think good. So now a small activity, maybe we're running short of time. So if not in the chat box, I thought of asking you to share your goals in the chat box, but we won't have time to go through all your chats. So what I'm going to do is, after this session, please frame a goal, write a goal for yourself, and make sure you share your goals with whomsoever you know. More number of people you share, all the goodness you will get. I will tell you what the benefits you will get by sharing your goals. Share it with your friends, your family members, whoever you meet. Okay, you can share your goals with more number of people. Don't keep it to yourself. Okay, I will tell you what happens when you share. The moment you share your goals with someone, you automatically make yourself accountable towards that particular goal. The next time the person meets you, he or she will ask you, right? You said you will do this in another 2 months. Have you completed your goal? They might ask you. So you feel accountable. The aspect of accountability helps to ensure that you stick to your goals. Okay. When you share your goals with others, apart from increasing your accountability, you get a sense of excitement and motivation towards hitting that goal. Not only this, okay, I am actually from a social organization called Lions. In a public meeting, chairman of a blood bank, he was addressing the meeting. He said the trust needs a van and they are in need of money to buy that van. And he also added by saying what kind of service the blood bank offers to the society and the very nominal price they charge for the units of blood. So he was telling all this. Immediately after his speech, few volunteered to help the trust, and the trust was able to collect 50% of the amount needed for the van in no time. All this happened just by sharing the goals with others. If you keep your goals with yourself, so what will happen? When you share your goals only, you will get more help from others. Otherwise, they won't help you. They might refer you to few contacts, or they might have gone through something similar to what you wanted to achieve. So please keep sharing your goals. Very important. Okay. And the other one is breaking down your goals. You have heard the question of how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is very simple, one bite at a time. This metaphor applies to achieving any big goal as well. How do you achieve a huge goal? You accomplish it one step, one task, one measure at a time. Break your long-term goals down into annually, monthly, weekly, or even hourly goals. Okay, it is absolutely amazing how much you can accomplish if you break your task down. Okay, I wanted to share something about taking small steps every day. If you can, I'm going to refer one more book for your reading. Read this book by James Clear, Atomic Habits by James Clear, where he talks about making small improvements, taking small steps in your life, okay, which you even study in management, a concept called Kaizen, that is called continuous improvement. So take small steps. You need not have big leaps. 1% improvement from yesterday, you're able to make it today. It is said that you will be 37 times productive for the whole year, which makes a lot of huge difference, right? So the next one, most important and final part, which I'm going to talk about is imagine arriving on the outskirts of a large city and being told to drive to a particular home in that city. Okay. You be in the outskirts and you wanted to drive yourself to a particular home in that city. But here's a catch. There is no road sign. Okay. And no map. Very bad, right? So you will not be able to have any clue of where you want to really go. So how long do you think it would be able to find out that home in the city without a road map or without road signs? The answer is probably your whole life. You need to keep searching. If ever you find the home, it would be a matter of luck. Okay. And sadly enough, this is the way most people live their lives. The average people starts life traveling through an unmapped and uncharted world with no roadmap. This is the equivalent of starting off in life with no goals and plans. Any plan is better than no plan at all. So include action plan. Very important. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So you need to have action plan, have a list of tasks you need to accomplish, set a deadline, plan the day before what you're going to do the next day. All these are very important. Most important thing in planning is revisit and revise your plan regularly. Be prepared to change if you need to change. Be clear about your goal. Be flexible about the process of achieving it. Why I'm saying this is look at this picture. What do most people do? Looking at this picture, you'll be able to understand. Okay, the goal is being adjusted. What do most people do is that they change their goal instead of changing their action plan. If the plan does not work, change the plan, but never the goal. You should never change the goal. Maybe you can change a plan. Okay, you can have a different plan. And finally, there is a theory of constraint. Okay, something is between you and anything you wanted to accomplish. This is called constraints, right? A limiting factor which is standing between you and your goal. So you need to understand there is an 80-20 rule here. 80% of all these constraints come within yourself, and 20% of these constraints come outside of yourself. So whereas this 80% is, it is you personally who is usually the major roadblock that is setting the speed at which you achieve any goal that you set for yourself. Fine, mostly we complain people around you or the situations. That is only 20%. 80% what is stopping you from achieving your goal is only you. Okay, you need to understand this. So what obstacles we might have in life? It can be fear. As I said, fear of unknown, fear of failure, fear of rejection. All that you need to do to overcome this fear is, my dear friends, face the fear. Very simple. Second obstacle is you will have doubts. Okay, doubts on your own abilities. Am I not good enough? I'm not capable of doing this. We feel inferior to the challenges of achieving the great goals that we so much want to accomplish. To overcome the self-doubts, believe in yourself. If you don't believe in you, then who will? So you need to believe in yourself. The finally last one is your comfort zone. Most of us, the major obstacle we have is the comfort zone. I know it is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. You need to break your comfort zone and come out to really shine in life. Okay. So to put it into conclusion, be the best version of yourself. Okay. If it falls to your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures, like Beethoven composed music, like Shakespeare wrote poverty. Sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well. Okay, you only achieve identity by being the best of whatever you have it in you. So be the best version of yourself. Okay, so an ordinary school teacher who did not even believe she had the capabilities to become the headmistress of a school, but she went on to build missionaries of charity, known to the world as Mother Teresa, feeding over 4 million people in more than 100 plus countries in the world, which means that inside one human being, there is power to transform the rest of the world. A university dropout, Steve Jobs, was able to revolutionize the way technology operates even today. Our lifestyles have been changed. That power of a human being, that potential of a human being is sleeping inside each one of you. So why be ordinary when we all can be extraordinary? For a longer period of time, we thought you were stuck with your DNA. Whatever you're born with, that was your destiny. That's not the way it works anymore, my dear friends. We are talking about something called epigenetics. Every single thought you have, every single mouthful of whatever you eat, every single step you take changes the gene expression, changes the way the whole body is talking to itself, and changes your destiny. You write your own life script, my dear friends. So finally, I would like to conclude with this acronym: set your GPS. Have a goal in your life. P, plan for your goal. Have an action plan. S, keep screening your goal again and again and stick to your goal. Set your GPS. Successful people do not do great things. They only do small things in a great way. So let's not just be a part of a landscape, part of a crowd. Let's be something special. Let's think bigger, grow greater, and become true leaders. Thank you all for listening. I'm really thankful to the members of AIMS, and special thanks to Dr. Nandagopal sir for providing me a platform to talk to you all. Looking forward to connect with you in future too. Thank you once again. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Aarthi. We have a few questions and
Yes.
maybe take a few.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So one second. I think it's just moved away. So there's one participant who wishes to know, who says that your talk was very interesting, but the problem is it stays in his mind for only a week. After which, it just vanishes. So what should we do so that it becomes a habit for life?
Ma'am, we should have a proper plan. It's just for everybody. It happens. A motivation talk, we'll have motivation level till 1 week, and then again it drops. You have to pull back your motivation level again, because this is an external motivation. Whatever I'm giving you is from external. You should believe in yourself and keep pushing yourself all the time. Better do this activity simple, okay? Put your hands in front, take it to the back, pat on your back every time you feel low. Don't wait for somebody to come and push you every time. Others will do it only like this, once in a month or once in a week. You have to push yourself so that you don't let your motivation levels down anytime. That's very important.
So then Shreya says, when I get this intrinsic motivation, there are others who are constantly demotivating and criticizing her. So then again, what should she do?
Very important question, and very important for life also. Thank you, Shreya, for that question, because we are shaped by the kind of people we are surrounded by. Okay, who we are is decided by the friends we have around us. Okay, so we cannot change the people around, but you can choose to change the people you are around. Very important, right? So choose the right kind of people to be around. Very important for reaching your goal also. Fine. So just how you choose your friends.
Yes. And Dr. Aarthi, Utkarsh Kumar says, yes, I believe you. I go ahead with my goal, but then there is a failure. So then how do I deal with this failure so that, I don't stop with these short-term goals, but achieve my long-term goals?
See, only if you fail, it means that you're moving in the right direction. You can learn a lot from the failure. It is not that every successful people have done something in their life without failing. It is how you get up from your failure, how you bounce back from your failure, that is very important. All that you need to remember is whatever happens, even if you fail, even if you succeed, but don't stop wherever you are. You have to keep moving forward. Don't quit. Persistence is very important in reaching your goal. That is very important.
Yeah, so thank you, Dr. Aarthi. I think we have some more questions, but then there's also a feedback form which has been sent. I don't expect the students or the participants to immediately give the feedback, but then if there are any more questions, Dr. Aarthi is here to take. Dr. Aarthi, so everybody says it's been a very excellent presentation, excellent session, and they all loved your presentation. So this is what I'm reading from the chat messages.
Thank you, ma'am. It means a lot to me. Thank you all for your patience listening.
Yeah, so so far, when we look at a football ground, all that we can see is your players running up and down if they did not have a goal post. And I think most of us run our lives like that, running up and down, not really seeing what we should be seeing. So let me thank Dr. Aarthi, who with lovely examples, anecdotes, and sayings, explained that goals should be realistic, exciting, inspiring, and balanced. And to conclude, all of us have dreams. Let our dreams become our goals. And let that goal have a deadline. Let us fix deadlines and start working towards our goals, as you said, with our own GPS. So thank you so much once again, Dr. Aarthi, Dr. Nandagopal, Dr. Sunil Joshi, and all the participants who are with us today. Wish you all a very happy Christmas, and we at AIMS will come back to you with more such inspiring speakers as well as topics. And thank you once again, Dr. Aarthi, for being with us.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been a pleasure being with you all today. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.